No one likes change. It's just as simple as that. I used to be terrified of changing. I mean, it's incredibly scary for something in our lives to shift or be altered. It's hard for us to let go of something so familiar for that inevitable change. Many things change throughout life. Our thoughts, our environment, our responsibilities, and our habits are most certainly different from those of 5 years ago. Growing up, I was so against change. I had the same hairstyle, I had the same schedule, and I ate the same food. I was content with my life and wanted everything to stay the same because I liked the present and I liked being comfortable. It took me a long time to realize that I can't just stay pleased and satisfied all the time. People say you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. I can give you the best advice out there. Advice that a prophet would tell an unmoored civilian. But at the end of the day, no advice can force you to act on something. I disagree. In my old video, I talked about how your environment is a staple in molding who you are, how you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and how your environment affects almost every aspect of your life. Now, let's relate that back to the quote about the horse. Let's just say if you poured salt on the horse's tongue, if you tired it out, if you put water directly in front of that horse, then I can guarantee you it will drink. So what does that exactly mean? I'm not trying to say put yourself through that much pain just to change, but I am saying this: nothing changes if nothing changes. It's that simple. Your environment or position will not transform if you don't change your actions. So you should probably ask, what is that behavior that I want? Well, in this case, it's drinking the water. Well, what is the salt? What is the dehydration and the motivation to get you to perform that behavior, to get you to drink the water? I'm not a believer of dilly-dallying throughout life. I believe that we respond to the conditions we have had in the past and learn our behaviors as a result. In life, there will be many challenges and issues arising, but it is up to you of how you respond to these situations. My thought is you have two choices. You can either be reactive or proactive. A reactive behavior is exactly what it sounds like: an immediate response to a situation or problem that is beyond a person's control. Some examples of this could be complaining or making rash decisions. Whereas proactive behavior would be acting in advance of a future situation rather than reacting. It's all about taking initiative and being responsible. I used to always ask questions like, how do I study for these specific problems for this specific test? No one wants to help me. Or, I don't have any idea how to make an effective presentation. Just questions like this where I was reacting to an issue at hand. Many people wait for something to happen or someone to take care of them. But the people who end up with good jobs are the proactive ones. The ones who are the solution to the problems, not the problems themselves. Who see the initiative to do whatever is necessary consistently with correct principles to get the job done. I think this also has to do with the language we use in our day-to-day lives. What you say is far more significant than you think. Your words have meaning in how you portray life itself. Some examples of this would be, rather than saying, I have to, switch that to, I get to. I have to do this grueling homework assignment. Switch it to, I get to complete this homework assignment. It would be much worse if you weren't in school learning. Another example would be, I have to make myself dinner. And switch it to, I get to make myself dinner. A lot of people don't have the option to make themselves dinner at all. It's just that paradigm shift can change your life. Now, I'm not going to bore you with any more, but if you are interested in any more proactive language, I have them on the screen from a book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey. Just to give you a bit of background about me is I used to go to a German school where all my classes were taught in German. And out of the whole 5 days of 8-hour classes, I would probably only be studying 1 hour of English per week. I did this up until 4th grade, and then I switched to an American school in 5th grade. This was one of the most difficult challenges I had to go through. Not only was I switching schools with completely new people, but I was also switching my learning with a different language. On top of that, we were moving from Manhattan to the suburbs. In this new school, the food was different, the jokes were different, the whole vibe was different. Everything. And at first, I did quite hate it. I wasn't doing as well in school as I did in elementary school due to the language barrier. I was forced to adapt to a new environment. And yeah, I'm sure I could have complained to my parents till their ear fell off, and they would have eventually transferred me to a different school, but I didn't. And although it was a struggle, it did pay off in the end. During the COVID-19 lockdown, where everyone's classes were held online, I fell into some bad habits. I would play video games all day. I would eat like absolute garbage, always eating sugary snacks and fast food. I had an absolutely dreadful sleep schedule. I would not work out, would not socialize at all unless I was forced, and I wasn't being challenged in any sort of way. Looking back, I was just a boy who was afraid of change. Then, after an exciting summer of camp, my parents forced me to join track. There, I was exposed to a new environment that wouldn't spend half of their days looking at a computer screen. As crazy as it sounds, the track people welcomed me with open arms, and I learned discipline and perseverance. The other track kids motivated me to go to the gym and be more active. This was the environment that I needed to be surrounded by, not people who were addicted to pixels on a screen. And that is something I want to bring up. Initially, I wasn't open to the idea of change at all, but after a little push, it worked out for the better. Through this new environment, I learned to let go of video games, I learned to be more social, and I learned to eat healthier. If there's any takeaway from the story, it would be, do not be afraid of change. If you are not willing to change, you are just holding yourself back. You need to be open-minded and always be willing to change. I mean, I went through some of my lowest lows and highest highs throughout middle school and high school, but I came out on top. And through those roller coaster of events, I am who I am today. All thanks to change. Thanks to everyone leaving me comments on what to do to make my videos better. I really want this YouTube stuff to work one day, so I can look back at all the hard work and see that it was paid off. Since it's a new year, I gave myself a goal to reach at least 8,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you look now, I am well off of it. I have 27 subscribers right now. And yeah, really far off. But I know that anything I put my mind to, I can accomplish. And I know I'm going to do it. So I just want to say thank you to everyone watching me. And anyway, I hope you liked the video, and see you in the next one.